Before the first drum echoed across the rain-soaked earth, before the first fire flickered beneath a carved gourd hut, there was a golden chain dangling from the heavens, reaching toward a vast, watery chaos. A god descended, and the world began. But this isn't Sumer or Babylon. This is West Africa. And yet, the Yoruba creation story, told by griots around smoky hearths for centuries, echoes eerily with the myths of ancient Mesopotamia. How is it possible that two civilizations divided by oceans and deserts birthed such similar visions of how our world came to be? Was it pure coincidence? Or is there something deeper, something older, linking these ancient minds? In the beginning, there was only the sky above and water below. The earth did not yet exist. In Yoruba cosmology, the supreme god, Olodumare, looked down upon the vastness of the primordial waters. He was the source of all energy, the unseen mover of fate. But it was not Olodumare who shaped the world with his own hands. No, that task fell to his trusted emissary, Ọbatálá. Clothed in white, Ọbatálá was purity and order. He descended from the sky, not by falling, but by climbing down a shimmering chain made of gold, forged by the Orisha of iron and war, Ogun, and a sacred palm seed, all given to him by Olodumare. When Ọbatálá reached the surface of the waters, he poured the sand from the snail shell. Then he released the hen, which began to scratch and scatter the sand. As the grains spread, they formed land, dry earth where there had been none. Ọbatálá named this first piece of land Ile-Ifẹ, meaning the place of expansion. It was the navel of the world. Here, life began. But pause for a moment. Across the Red Sea, nearly 2,000 miles to the northeast, the Sumerians of ancient Mesopotamia recorded something eerily familiar on their clay tablets over 4,000 years ago. Their world, too, began as a watery abyss called the Primeval Sea. The god Enki, or Ea, was the deity of freshwater wisdom and creation. He rose from the abyss and in some myths created land using divine tools, commanding order from chaos. Both the Yoruba and the Sumerians spoke of a formless sea. Both saw the need for a divine agent of order. Both used symbolic animals, the Yoruba, a hen, the Mesopotamians, often serpents and fish, agents of transformation. And in both, the land was not merely there, it had to be made. Could it be that these similarities point to some ancient forgotten dialogue between cultures? Could myths travel farther than armies, carried not by ships, but by stories? Back in Ile-Ifẹ, the creation continued. Ọbatálá planted the sacred palm seed, and from it sprouted a tree with 16 branches, each representing a different clan of people. He molded human figures from clay, delicate and detailed, and set them aside. But then came a mistake. Ọbatálá, weary from his divine labors, drank palm wine. In his drunkenness, his hands trembled as he sculpted. The figures he formed were misshapen. Some were born with twisted limbs, others without sight or hearing. Horrified by what he had done, Ọbatálá swore never to drink again. To this day, those born with disabilities in Yoruba tradition are not viewed as curses, but as the children of Ọbatálá, formed by his trembling hands. A compassionate God, with human flaws. Now listen to this. In the Mesopotamian myth of Atrahasis, the gods too fashioned humans from clay. But the mixture was not pure. Enki and the goddess Nintu used the blood of a rebellious god. As a result, humans inherited not just breath and muscle, but sorrow and struggle. So again, we see it, flawed creation, divine missteps, a world made imperfect. But the Yoruba story doesn't end with Ọbatálá, for when he descended the golden chain, he was not the only Orisha to do so. His younger brother, Oduduwa, also came down, some say out of jealousy, others say by divine design. While Ọbatálá shaped the world's physical form, Oduduwa brought leadership and government. He became the first king of the Yoruba people, the progenitor of kings, the ancestor of dynasties. In the ancient city of Ile-Ifẹ, archaeologists have uncovered terracotta sculptures dating back to the 12th century CE, works of such sophistication that Europeans once refused to believe they were African in origin. And yet these statues, marked by the calm, regal expressions of Yoruba nobility, stand as silent testimony to a civilization shaped by myth and guided by gods. Just like Ur, just like Babylon. Consider this. Both Yoruba and Mesopotamian societies saw time as cyclical, not linear. They believed in destiny, yet also in personal choice. In Yoruba cosmology, each soul chooses its path before birth, guided by Ori, the inner head or spiritual destiny. Similarly, the Mesopotamians believed in fate inscribed on the tablets of destiny, but the gods could still be petitioned and altered outcomes. But perhaps the most haunting parallel of all lies, not in clay or kings, but in the sky. In both traditions, the heavens were not empty. For the Yoruba, Olodumare dwelled in the uppermost realm, Run. Beneath him were layers of spiritual beings, the Orisha, each governing natural forces, the river goddess Osun, the storm god Sango, the trickster Esu. In Mesopotamia, Anu reigned in the heavens, with the divine assembly beneath him, Enlil of the winds, Ishtar of love and war, Nergal of the underworld, divine hierarchies, spiritual bureaucracy, the cosmos as a court. So, we ask again, how is it that two worlds, Africa and Asia, Nigeria and Sumer, tell stories that echo across time and terrain? Could there have been ancient contact, trade routes lost to the deserts of memory? Or do these myths arise from something even older, a shared human longing to explain what it means to be made? Even more curiously, there's an old Yoruba belief that when we die, we return to Darun to report back to Olodumare about how we lived. It is not just judgment, it's storytelling. We return to the divine with the tales of our choices. And maybe that's what these myths are. Humanity, me-s first reports back to the gods. Today, as the markets bustle in modern Lagos and the shrines of Ile-Ifẹ sit quietly in sacred groves, these ancient myths still whisper through the wind, buried beneath concrete and memory. The golden chain may be lost, but the descent of the gods is not forgotten. And as for Mesopotamia, its ziggurats lie broken, but its clay tablets still speak. Could the myth of the golden chain be more than metaphor? Could there be a link unseen but real, connecting these ancient visions? What if the stories themselves are the chain? Stories passed down, twisted, translated, but never truly broken. Until next time, think about this. What other myths from Africa mirror those of India, China, or Egypt? What secrets lie in the symbols we've been taught to dismiss? History, after all, isn't just what happened, it's what we remember. If this story lit a spark in you, don't let it fade. Like, subscribe, and join us in uncovering more of history's hidden mirrors. And if you know of another myth that bridges continents, drop it in the comments. We're listening, we always are. This is History Off the Map.